Imagine spending your entire life savings, billions of dollars, on an impenetrable steel vault. You put it in the ground, you brag that it is unbreakable, but then a fly slips through the crack in the door and blows the whole thing up. Sounds ridiculous, right? It shouldn't happen. But right now, on battlefields from Eastern Europe to the Middle East, this isn't a metaphor. It is reality. We are watching the most powerful air defense shields on the planet, the Russian S-400, the brand new S-500, and the American THAAD, get absolutely humiliated. The S-500, a system so advanced it was supposed to shoot down satellites, had its billion-ruble radar taken out by a drone made of plywood and duct tape. THAAD, the pride of the American missile defense, watches the sky for ICBMs, but couldn't stop a slow-moving Iranian Shahed from taking out its eye. But here is the twist. Before we call these systems overpriced junk, we have to ask a question that changes everything. Are we blaming a fishing net for failing to catch a mosquito? Today, we are looking at the truth behind the failure. Because the problem isn't that these systems are weak. The problem is that war changed, and no one bothered to tell the generals. To understand why a drone beats a tank, you have to understand what a system like the S-400 or THAAD is actually trying to do. These aren't just guns, they are ecosystems. Take THAAD. Its radar, the ANTPY-2, is a monster. We are talking about a system that costs between $500 million and $1 billion. It has an antenna the size of a house. It is designed to spot a baseball traveling through space at 15,000 miles per hour. It can see things from over 1,000 kilometers away. The S-400 and S-500 are the same story. They are built to calculate the path of supersonic jets and intercontinental ballistic missiles. They are built for speed. They are built for altitude. When a big fast object comes, the radar screams, "Threat," and the system reacts. It fires missiles that cost millions of dollars to destroy targets that also cost millions. In the world of physics, these are the heavyweight champions. They can take a punch and they can deliver a knockout. They were built to fight a war we thought we would be fighting, a war of tanks, jets, and nukes. But then, something strange happened on the way to the battlefield. The enemy stopped sending heavyweights. They started sending flies. Look at the front lines in Ukraine. Russia deployed the S-400 and later the S-500 to protect priceless assets. We are talking about the Kerch Bridge, military airfields, and command centers. These systems were supposed to create a no-fly zone. But Ukraine didn't send jets. They sent FPV drones, small, fast, and most importantly, cheap, made of foam, plastic, and a bomb. In September 2025, Ukrainian special forces pulled off a heist. They snuck an FPV drone right up to the radar station of an S-400 Triumf. Think about that. The eyes of the billion-dollar system, poked out by a toy. The Ukrainian military put out a statement saying, and I quote, "The radar station is the eyes of the S-400. Without it, the entire system loses its combat effectiveness." But it gets worse for Russia. The S-500, their brand new top shelf, nobody has anything like this system. It met the same fate. The radar was struck. Why? Because these small drones are flying low and slow. To the S-400's radar, a small drone looks less like a missile and more like a seagull, and you don't waste $1 million missile on a seagull. Or at least you think you don't, until that seagull crashes into your control center. Now let's fly down to the Middle East, because the Russians aren't the only ones crying into their manuals. We saw the United States THAAD system, the absolute pinnacle of defense, get caught with its pants down. In early 2026, tensions with Iran boiled over, and in the opening days of that conflict, something catastrophic happened. A US official confirmed that an ANTPY-2 radar, the $300 million heart of the THAAD system, was obliterated. What hit it? Was it a hypersonic missile? Was it a stealth fighter? No, it was likely a Shahed-136 drone. The same kind of drone Ukraine has been shooting down with machine guns and old Soviet guns. A slow, buzzing Iranian lawnmower managed to sneak through and blind the giant. Defense analyst Tom Karako from the Center for Strategic and International Studies put it bluntly. He said, "There aren't exactly any spare TPY-2 lying around." It takes years to build these things, and in one moment, a drone that costs less than a used Honda Civic took out a radar that costs more than a private jet. And this is where the gotcha headlines come from. Everyone screams, "See, the THAAD is useless, S-400 is useless." But wait, let's look at the physics again. The THAAD radar is designed to look up at the sky for missiles coming from space. It is literally aimed at the heavens. Meanwhile, the Shahed is skimming the ground, flying at 100 miles per hour. It is hiding in the clutter, the ground noise that the radar is programmed to ignore. So why a Ferrari can't haul trash? This brings us to the big, uncomfortable truth, and it's a truth that military planners are only waking up to now. We have built these incredible, beautiful, high-tech systems for the wrong war. An S-400 or a THAAD interceptor is like a Ferrari. It's meant for the Autobahn. It needs to go fast, turn hard, and hit hard. But trying to hit a slow drone with a $4 million Patriot missile is like trying to kill a fly in your kitchen with a shotgun made of gold. Sure, it works eventually, but you run out of gold very fast, and you destroy your house in the process. Experts are now pointing out something obvious that we forgot. When it comes to shooting down drones, missiles are actually the worst tool for the job. In fact, a retired Taiwanese general recently stated that for drones, missiles are actually the weak link. He argued that fast cannons with radar control are actually better. Think about it. A missile has to lead the target, predict where it's going. A drone is erratically moving. It doesn't play by the rules of a jet fighter. And because the drone is so small, the missile's proximity fuse might not even trigger. The US Army is scrambling to fix this. They are looking at lasers and high-powered microwaves. But even those are struggling. The article from the Modern War Institute at West Point points out that these laser systems have been in development for 20 years. Rain, dust, or fog can completely block a laser. And guess what? Drones fly in rain, dust, and fog. So what is the solution? If the billion-dollar radars can't stop the $500 drone, do we just give up? Ukraine says no. They realized this problem years ago. They don't use S-300s to hunt Shaheds. They use something called the Tempest system. It's literally a missile launcher strapped to a dune buggy. It's cheap, it's fast, and it can turn on a dime. And when they don't have that, they use heavy machine guns mounted on pickup trucks. Why? Because you don't need to guide a bullet. You just need to throw enough lead in the air that the drone flies into it. The failure of the S-400, S-500, and THAAD isn't a failure of engineering. It is a failure of imagination. We built shields to stop giants, and the enemy sent dwarves. The lesson here is brutal but simple. In modern war, if you build a weapon that costs $1 million to fire, someone will build a weapon that costs $1,000 to defeat it. And right now, the drones are winning that math battle. So the next time you see a headline that says, "Super weapon fails," look closer. Ask yourself, was the weapon designed for the threat, or are we just asking a fish to climb a tree? Until now, that's all for today, and thank you guys for watching the video.